This conference will now be recorded.
Right. We started yesterday with object-oriented programming, and what was the last discussion we have done? 8, 5, 4, 9. I think day 9. Day 9. Yes. Yeah. So, yesterday we tried to understand about what is object, what is the use of object, and when we use object. I hope everybody got clarity of it, and I shown that basic example of object oriented class and object creation and the private day dot 10. Okay. Now let me go with a real-time example to explain more better than what we discussed. So once again, I wanted to show you what we did yesterday. I declared some private variables which are hidden from outside world. I mean, you can't access them directly. So because of that reason, if you want to do any operation on these private variables of a class, see, here the methods are for the variables. I mean, the methods are written for the data, but data is not written for the methods, guys. Do remember. Okay, the methods are written for the data, but data is not written for the methods. I mean, if you want to perform any action on your data, any action on your data, any operation on your data, do remember there must be a method. There must be a method, public method. So if you think about any certain operation like sum, subtraction, anything, if it is a bank program, deposit, withdraw, anything, so you must write a method, okay, to access the data to perform operations. So this is the basic fund of a class. You need to think of it. So variables, methods, then create object for the class, then call the methods. Finish. That's the process of the class, guys. Now let me start with the class called customer, for example. We start with the class called customer demo. Customer demo. So rather than x, y, z variables, I wanted to start with a new class, customer class. Okay, guys, new class, customer class, and what the fields customer may have: integer ID, private string, first name, private string, last name, private string, last name, private. I am deciding what can customer have the fields or data. Double balance, and else, okay, you can keep mobile number, email ID, many things here, though. No, so I'm very making very simple because our target to store some data and will understand all the methods concepts. So according to us, what we supposed to write, one more thing here I would like to explain. In this, one more concept I want to add. The concept is constructor, guys. What is the concept? Constructor concept. What is a constructor? A constructor is a special member function or special method which automatically called when object is created. When object is created, that is what the constructor. Okay, now let us come to the rules to create constructor. There are certain rules. Number one, the name of constructor must be its its class name. Same as its class name. Okay. same as its class name. That is the first rule. Constructor should not return any value. In the bracket you write not even void, not even void. Do remember this point, not even void. Is that clear? Not even void. What is the advantage? Advantage is it is used to initialize the properties of an object. Properties of an object. Properties of an object. To remember, it is used to initialize the properties of an object. That is what constructor. So now let us think of it. What is constructor? First, let me write a constructor, guys. What are the rules? Public. I write like public. Name of the constructor you can't decide yourself. You should give the name of the constructor same as your class name. This is the constructor method, guys. Now I'll write system.out.println. Hi, this is a default constructor. Default constructor. I'll tell you what is default constructor. Constructor. Default constructor. Okay, now let us run. Whether did we call this constructor from the main method, guys? Have you seen? Are we calling? We called read method, we called print method, we called sum method. But did we call the constructor? No. So let us run and see whether it will work or not. Yeah. See here. This is the default constructor. This is the default constructor. How many times default constructor is called? Tell me, guys. This is important point in object oriented. Constructor is the most important concept. Tell me, did
Two
you call
times.
this? No, did you call this? No, we never called. But how many times it is executed? 2 times. Why it is executed? Because we said it's a special method which automatically called when object is created for the class. Yeah, tell me how many objects we created? How many objects we created? How many objects we created? We created sample, sample2. Two objects we created now. So at this time constructor is called. 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 So 2 times constructor is called. 2 times constructor is called, guys. Do remember this one. Okay, na? 2 times constructor is called. So that is what I mean. Whenever you are creating object, there itself a constructor is called. Okay, then what is the use of constructor? Why what is the benefit of it? Yeah, let me come back to this. What I said, advantage, it is used to initialize the properties of an object, right? Means what? Suppose when you have a constructor, you should also have another constructor called sample. But here integer x comma integer y. I mean, whatever the read method is doing, na, that it is doing. I mean, you paste, copy and paste. What is this error? Oh, public L missing. Sorry. Yeah. You see, I wrote this is another constructor. So this constructor is called default constructor. Default constructor. Otherwise, let me write copy and let me write a message here. Default constructor, the parameterized constructor. Default constructor, parameterized constructor. Okay, now let us see. Yeah, see, here I used read method to store the values. In the second case, I am not using the read method. I just disable it, read method. So when you disable, what will happen? Second object will perform 0, 0, 0. Why? Because second object is not initialized with the values. It is created empty. It is created empty with which constructor? Default constructor. Because you see, I am calling which constructor here? Okay, is it matching with this constructor or not? Both are matching? Yes. So it is called with the default constructor. But if you want to store the values, you can go with the read method also. There is another option we have, 10 and 20. I am passing values to. Now tell me, is it called which constructor, guys? Does it calls default constructor or parameterized constructor? Okay, tell me. Did it called default constructor or parameterized constructor?
Parameterized.
Look at it. Yeah. See. See, when you call it, go and hit to default constructor. Sorry, I am unable to show you because of the low screen. And zoom. Appearance, color and fonts. Just temporarily, I'll make the small fonts. Okay, now you can check everything is being displayed, right? Okay, see guys, try to understand. Whenever you are calling this, okay, it invokes this constructor. Okay, whenever you calling this, it goes to matching constructor. Which constructor? Look at this, correct or not? Empty brackets, constructor with empty brackets here, correct? Constructor with empty brackets, constructor with values, constructor with values. Try to understand what is happening. Guys, is that clear? Do you understand what I am saying? Guys, everybody got clarity? Yes.
Yes.
When you create empty object, default constructor is called. When you create object with values, the parameterized constructor is called. Now tell me, now tell me, which practice do you think is better practice? Going with this approach, you feel better? Going with this approach, do you feel is better? What do you think of it? Among two objects, which declaration, which process do you think is better, guys? Everyone I'm asking, anyone?
Second one.
First or second?
Second.
Why do you think second one is better?
Because there we are clearly mentioning the parameterized and non-parameterized thing.
Anybody else?
First is better.
First is better, very good. Why do you think first is better, ma?
Because we have separate for methods for assigning values. That is more security will be there if we have separate methods for assigning value.
Okay. Anybody else would like to give me opinion? First approach is better, second approach is better, and why? Guys, yeah, I'll come back. See, this is superb. Why? Very simple. Tell me how many lines are doing the work. How many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove this. Tell me how many lines working here. Which one you feel better now? Here you are creating empty object to store the values. Again you are calling read method. 2 lines of code you are doing in 1 line. Creating object, sending the values. Don't you like this process? You want to go with read method separately to store the values, or you want to go with constructor to store the values? Which practice is better, do you think? 2 in 1 is better, 1 separate better? Guys, very simple concept. Answer me. 2 in 1 you like, or 1 plus 1 you like?
2 in 1.
Then which approach is having 2 in 1? Second approach. Yeah, you should better understand this, because from now onwards we are going to start constructors only. You are going to see only constructors. No more read method. In actual programming, there will not be any read method. Why should I go again in calling the method, guys? If you forgot this method, object is empty, na? So you should emphasize on this also. But here, once the object is created, everything is fine. Why should I go again 2 lines of code for this process? So from now onwards, don't think about the read method. Think always about the parameterized constructor in order to store the values. The second approach is much better than the first approach. See, second approach, which method is calling? Which constructor is calling? Second, parameterized. First approach, default constructor. That is the difference, because empty constructor, default constructor. Constructor with parameters, parameterized constructor. I hope you understand what is constructor, guys, everyone.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Now let us come back. Now, do you think read method is preferable or constructor is preferable? And if you want to write read method manually, you have to type each and everything. Manually, you have to write here. But in the constructor, you see, now I want to generate constructor for this now. I just go to Eclipse, right click in Eclipse. Eclipse will facilitate the code. See, constructor using field, constructor using field. Look at it. Automatically constructor is created by Eclipse only. I am not creating constructor, do remember. Guys, try to understand what I did. Most important. Tell me, do you understand? Anybody?
So what is that super is
I'll tell you about super. No, don't worry. Even you don't write also, no problem. I'll explain what is super in next sessions. But right now, it doesn't make any sense for us. Now, is that clear?
yes.
Anybody having any doubt, guys?
So the constructor is public, but the inside the variables are like this is, I mean, this dot id, right? So I did not understand that.
That
this dot id, this dot first name. So the constructor is public.
Yeah, constructor always we write public only, because every method we are writing public only now, because from outside only you need to access, then you will write public only now, no
Yes,
private.
yes.
No? Mhm. Okay. So now I generated constructor automatically. So if you want to type, suppose if you assume you have 20 fields here, if you want to write read method, you for the 20 fields it will take a lot of time. But generating constructor also, it's a default from the Eclipse only. You no need to worry about it. So source constructor superclass. Yeah, there is a default constructor with super keyword. I will eliminate it. We'll discuss about it later. Okay. Now default constructor, parameterized constructor. So private variables are declared, constructors are declared. Now what else you want in the class? Read method or constructors, print method, correct? So I want to display all these values, right? So I should write show method or print method. Rather than going with the show method or print method, I'll go with the source to string method. So it will not print, it will simply return the values. Right, most probably if you have any default standard methods, they should return rather than print. So now I have variables to store the data, constructors to create object and store values, then toString method to print the values of the object. Now I will create one object of customer, guys. Customer1 equals new customer 100 ID number. Second parameter is what? First name Sachin, last name Tendulkar, and last name balance. Okay, balance 9999.99, some amount, semicolon. Is that clear? Now what next? System.out.println system.out.println customer1. What I am doing exactly? I am printing customer1. So I just placed object inside the system.out.println. Do you think all values of customer will be printed from the private variables? Yes, whatever the values are available in the private variables, means Sachin, 100, Tendulkar, like this, all value will be printed. How is it possible? It invokes automatically, it invokes what? ToString method. So ToString method is doing what? It returning all the values, id, name, last name and all. So whatever is returned here, directly it will be printed in the system.out. So you are going to get the output, guys. Look, check here. I just store 100 Sachin Tendulkar 999 and all the values are stored here. Okay, now any doubt? Any doubt?
So how to create the toString method, sir?
Place the cursor, right click, source to, that's it.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, all are default only. Constructors, you no need to. Just you need to decide your variables, what variables you want to use in your customer class or employee class or student class. See, whatever I am doing today with the customer class, guys, your homework is you should start parallelly student class. Student ID, student first name, last name, address, balance, mobile number, okay, whatever the fee, everything you should rewrite in the student class. You start parallelly with the student class. That is your assignment. Do remember, guys. Okay, na? Right. Now I will create one more object. Object number 2, customer 2. Who is my customer 2? 101. 101. Okay, Virat and 888.88. Do remember these two things. And I am printing customer 2. I am printing customer 2. See guys, I have printed Virat Kohli balance and all. I have printed Sachin Tendulkar. So when I am printing customer 2, it will print only customer 2 details. When I am printing customer 1, these details will be printed. You understand clearly what is the advantage of object, guys? See, all the values rather than individually, you are dealing with one unit called object. And as well as if you want to access, you can go through the methods, you can't directly access. Any doubt here? Guys, any doubt? Right. Now the next point after this is, okay, we understood what about the constructors and objects. Now tell me, if I want to, okay, if I want to, suppose after creating object of customer 1, if I want to uh, uh, change the last name, I mean Sachin Tendulkar. Tendulkar's last name is Ramesh Tendulkar. How can I change Ramesh Tendulkar value? I mean already I created with Tendulkar only, but after creating object, I want to change the last name only. Guys, tell me, how can I change only last name from Tendulkar to Ramesh Tendulkar? Do you have any method for changing only last name? Do you have any method to change only first name? Do you have any method to change your balance? And similarly, do you have any method if I want to see only balance? ToString is displaying all the values, right? But I don't want to see all the values. I want to see only balance. Do you have any such methods to show only balance? Now tell me, guys. Any doubt to anyone here? Do we have any methods to change these properties? Now I want customer one's last name should be changed. How can I change? Tell me the solution. Anyone? Guys, anyone tell me solution for this?
Customer 1 dot last name.
Yeah?
Customer
What?
1 dot
Uh-huh.
is equal to Ramesh.
Dot
Last
what
name.
last name? I'm
Last
not going to last name. Where is that last name? It's getting error now. Because they are private now. They are private now. You can't directly access now. I told everything you want to do, you have to go through methods only. Do you have such
Yes.
method to do that?
Maybe setters and getters method.
Yes, fantastic. Who is that?
Swenka?
There are concept called as setters and getters. Ma. What do you mean by setter? Setter will be used to update or change the value of each property. Setter. Getter means I want to retrieve one particular property value, then getter, go through getter. Understand? How to generate setters and getters means I want getter for balance, setter for balance. I want getter for last name, setter for last name. I want every setter and getter. So totally we have 4. 4 into 4 plus 2, 8. Sorry, 4 into 2, 8. So I need 8 methods kada. If you have 10 or 15, you need 30 methods. So is it easy to write yourself the 30 methods or 20 methods or 8 methods? No. So now I need 8 methods, guys. If you are weak in typing, it will be taking a lot of time. So I don't need to worry. I just go and right click on somewhere and just say source, getters and setters. Generate. Eclipse will take care of it. All getters and all setters. Okay, now you have a choice. I don't want to change my balance. You can restrict it. You can only get the balance. You can have a choice, whichever you don't want, whichever you want, you can get it, or setters. So I want everything, select. That's your choice, guys. Again, you see, all getters and setters are generated. So setter is created with the set keyword, getter is generated with get keyword, guys. Do remember, 8 methods created, 8 methods created, 8 getters, 8 setters. Guys, are you clear what I'm trying to say? Yes. Now I can use which setter you want. Yeah, setting last name, right? Chalo. Now you can say customer one dot set what? Set last name. Ramesh. Guys, remember here, I'm not changing all the properties. I am changing only the last name with the new name. After this, if I want to print again, see, Sachin, Ramesh Tendulkar, second one. First time I created with a different name. Later I changed the last name. It will become Tendulkar. So I hope everybody should understood what is the exact need of setters and getters, guys. Any doubt to anyone? Hmm? Guys, shall I move forward? Everybody catching?
Yeah.
Right. So getters for retrieving one particular value. Okay, now let me go and change the balance of the customer to dot set balance. If you don't want to give balance access, you can restrict, no issue, man. Okay, if you don't like to give the balance access, don't create the setter for balance. 9,000, or I can give 1111 if I want to print whether it is changed or not, you can go with system.out.println customer2.get balance. Customer2.get balance. See, 11111.11 got it. Only balance I am able to see. You can simply print like that key. Your balance is on it. Check it. Your balance is 11. But actually, how much it was balance? 888. So rest of the things are same. Only balance is changed. See, if you want to retrieve only balance, you can go with the getter. So if you want to change the balance, you go to setters. Any doubt to anyone? So what we discussed so far in the class concepts since yesterday, guys. Number one, we discussed what is the class. Number two, we discussed what is object. Number three, we discussed what is abstraction or data abstraction, you can say. And what we discussed is constructor. Okay, what we discussed is setters and getters. Am I clear? These things we discussed so far. What is abstraction definition? What do you say? What do you mean by abstraction?
Hiding unnecessary things and
Yes, hiding unnecessary information, providing necessary information from the end user. So these are the things you should remember, and you should start with a new class called student with different properties, including address, mobile number, and all. Yes, ma'am.
Could you please show that 5 points? Could
So what?
you please show that 5 points, sir? You wrote in last.
This one?
wrote in the last, what are your thought? Could you please show that 5 points, sir?
5 pointer. Oh,
Class,
sorry.
object, abstraction.
Wait. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, guys. So this is the concept of a class. And apart from that, okay, I would like to show something else. Are you okay with this? So far, whatever we discussed is clear. Can I move forward, guys? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. One more thing I would like to explain, guys. Whenever you register something, will you give your IDs or ID will be auto generated by the system? What did you see in a real time?
Auto generated from the system.
Generated. So we don't give, even you open the account in the bank, you don't have a choice to give your own custom account ID, na? Right? Account number. If you go and take the admission in the college, they will give you batch number, right? So everything. So why are we giving this ID 101, 102 our site? We should not give. We should provide only your details. Okay, we should provide your own only your details, but ID you don't worry about it. Once the registration, I mean object creation successfully done, ID is automatically generated. But can anybody tell me how is it possible? So when you create object, it is always coming and taking this ID, na? Remove this also in the constructor. Okay, in the constructor no ID. So will you give 100 here then? If you give 100, every object will contains 100, na? Automatically. See, 100, 100, guys. But why it is happening? Because you gave 100, so every object will consist of the same value. But I want 100 in the first object, 101 in the second object. Can anybody tell me how to do that? For first object 100, for second object 101. Anyone, guys?
We have annotation.
Sorry?
Annotation.
What annotation?
I don't know.
Okay, let me do one thing. I take a variable. Like we declared sum total, I am declaring a counter variable where I am storing 100 or 101. Okay, so now I am storing like counter plus plus. Do you think it will work? Do you think it will work? Run it. See, 101, 101, again 101. Why? It's supposed to be plus plus, na? Plus plus means it should be incremented to next object, na? For every object, why it is giving me like 101, 101 same number? Tell me.
Static keyword.
Huh? What?
If we give static, it will not be initialized.
Very good. Why it is initializing same value? Because whenever you create object, na, along with the object, all the variables are created new, including this. Because there is no difference in the declaration of this object, this variable and other variables, except private keyword, except private keyword. This is also object variable. These are also object variables. So for every object, ID, first name, last name, balance is created. Similarly, for every object, counter is also created with a new value called 101. So whenever you create the first object, customer one, counter one is created, 101 will be initialized. Whenever you create the second object, again one more object, one more variable is created for counter with a new value and assigned here. So this variable should be like, it should not affect with the object, it should not affect with any object, it should be separate from the object, single copy. not multiple. Right now it is multiple copies. Means whenever object is created, so every time it will be created. No, I don't want like that. I want this should be created only once, single copy. I mean only once created. Only once created. Do remember, only once created. So then if you want to eliminate from this list, you just apply static keyword. I mean whenever whenever a variable or method is created with the static keyword, that will be declared only once. It will not be declared along with objects. It is not object variable, it is class variable. We call it as class variable, and one copy. I mean first time counter is created with 101, and whenever object is created, same counter by incrementing the values are added to the ID. Now you can see the output. First object 101, second object 102, guys. First object 101, second object 102. I hope everybody understood what I did. What is static variable is created? If you want any variable or method to be available for long time without affecting by objects, then you declare it as static variable. It will be common among all the variables, static. Guys, understood or not? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, now what you learned, what is static is important. So when you make static, it will become a class variable. So it will be single copy, only created once. So it is created once with 101, and it will be incremented every time. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, guys. So okay, now if I create one more object, empty object, customer 3 equals new customer. I am not going any values, going to give any values. System.out.println. So customer without values, customer 3 I am printing. What values you are going to get? Yeah, ID 0, first name null, last name null, everything is null. But object is created or not? Did object is created or not?
So,
Object created, but ID 0, that is not correct. If you don't give your values, at least your ID should be generated by the system kada. Why it is not happening? Why the third object ID is not generated? Guys, why the ID of third object is not at all generated? Can you tell me?
Because it is using default constructor.
Fantastic. This is using default constructor, and in the default constructor you did not write anything to give the counter value. So in the default constructor also ID generation should be there. ID generation must be given. At least ID must be given other than different values. Now you can check You can check ID 103, ID 102. See, even you don't give other values, system is providing default value, ID value. 101, 102, 103, guys. Any doubt? Guys, this is the basic structure of the class anywhere you are going to see in a Java. There is nothing other than this in a class. Standard structure. I mean, if you want any other methods also, you can generate business methods according to your requirement. Suppose you are writing bank application, you write deposit, withdraw. They are business requirement methods. So other than business methods, standard methods for creating object, for displaying object, for changing object, for individual retrieval of object. So everything, getter, setters, constructors, and toString method, everybody should understand clearly. Why toString? Why getter, setters? Why constructor? Guys, if any doubts among all these, guys, let me know. I will explain once again. So now, so far what we understand, what is a class, what is public, what is private, what is default, okay, what is constructor, what is the default constructor, what is the use of this keyword, okay, what are the getters and setters to string method. So you should be aware of all these things. So go through all these two videos, yesterday's and today's video, and you start with the new case study called student, okay, and student ID, name, last name, okay, and course, fee, address, mobile number. You add more fields, you work more. Then generate constructors, can getters and setters, everything, and create 2 or 3 objects as per your requirement. Then practice, guys. Is that clear? This is the practical and assignment both. Yeah, if anybody having any question, you can ask me. In the next session, we are going to discuss about inheritance concept. Inheritance concept, guys. Am I clear? Okay, guys, shall I wind up? Is that clear? Nobody having any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Student name, course, fees, then what else, sir?
Sorry, student
Student name,
ID. Yes, ID, first name, last name, course, balance, mobile number, address. You know now this. Whatever the field you like, you put it. There is no restriction. Commonly, whatever you see, you want to put course, balance, fee, other than balance, right? Okay, let me write whatever you want. Create student class, student demo class, and tomorrow I want to see, I will see in every machine, I will see every machine tomorrow. Do remember, everybody should work on it. If anybody is not doing work, it's not correct, guys. Everybody should show me tomorrow. ID, first name, last name, course, fee, mobile, address. These fields enough. Generate getter, setters, constructors, then create objects, fill the values, show me using static keyword. Right, guys? See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Tomorrow session is inheritance.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.